Today I'll be showing you my top 5 transitions for Adobe Premiere. So the first one that I'm going to start with is called Barn Doors. So if you come up to the search bar for the effects and just simply type in doors, you can see it'll be the first one that pops up here, but if you want to look for it through the folders, it's in the video transitions inside the white folder, and then you'll find it there. Then what you need to do is click onto it, drag it onto the clip that you want to put it on. So I'm going to put this at the beginning and you're going to see why. So as you can see, default it will open left to right. I don't want it to look like that, so if we just double click on it, bring up the effects controls. It's also a duration of 1 second, which is a little bit too short for me, so I'm going to put mine up to 3 seconds. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this bottom arrow here, so you can see it says south to north. Click that, and then if I play the clip over to you again, it now looks like that as a transition, and I think in personally that's a better, more eye-catching and more eye-appealing opening to a project, rather than having it with the doors going left to right. Having it going up and down just makes it that a little bit more interesting and eye-catching. So that's the first transition, very straightforward and very simple to sort of play with. The second one I'm going to show you is a zoom transition. So for this one I'm going to need a second clip. So let me just drag this onto the timeline. And then I'm going to cut it about there. So with this one, what you need to do is have about 15 frames or so at the end of the first clip and at the beginning of the second clip. So find the end of the keyframes here, and then go back about 15 or 16 frames. Make a cut right there. And again, do exactly the same thing for the second clip at the front. So make a cut right there. So now what you need to do, the second one, this is a zoom transition like I said. What you do is click on the desired clip that you want to mess around with the effects controls. Make sure you bring your line with you as well, so this will be for keyframing. So what I want to start with, you want to do scale, so press the stopwatch icon next to scale. It's currently set at 100, leave that as it is, that's fine. And as you can see, it'll put a keyframe there for me. Drag it all the way to the end of your clip, and then change it to 150, and then press enter, and it will put one in there for you. Put that to the end of your clip as far as it will go. And then again on the second clip, again click on it, bring up the effects controls, make sure you're at the beginning, press the stopwatch, but this time instead of it starting at 100, we want it to be 150, and then again drag it all the way to the end of the cut, and then change it from 150 to 100. So now if I put them two together, you can now see what the zoom transition will look like. So as you can see, it just zooms in on that first clip and then zooms back out on the second clip. But again, it's a more eye-catching sort of transition to use. That's the manual way of doing it. But I have found out if there is a actual transition that exists on Adobe now. So if you just type in zoom into the effects bar, go down to cross zoom. What I'll do is I'll drag it onto this clip for you here so you can see how it works. It basically does the exact same job that I've just done, but what it does is it zooms in and moves at a way quicker speed than what you would do if you attempted it manually. So as you can see here, see how quick that was and how much it zoomed in onto the table. Like, it was literally to the point where you could see the pixelation on the paper, obviously, which is not what you want to see. So you can sort of tone it down by doing it manually like I've just shown you. And then when it comes to the third transition, this is called a speed transition, speed run transition. So again, what you're going to need to do is you need another clip. So I'll drag this onto my timeline. And then with the speed run, I say leave about 15 frames at the end and the beginning of each clip. When it comes to messing around with speed, you really need to give yourself a lot of leeway either side. So I'd say realistically with keyframe or with the sort of time leaving per clip, I would at least say 20 to 25 just to give you that bit of room, because when you do speed the clip up, it will reduce the clip duration as well. So I'm going to put a cut there and a cut here. And again, so simple with this speed run transition. All you need to do is you need to right click onto the clip, go down to speed and duration, which is this one here, click on that, and at the moment it's already set to 100, and normally you want to aim for about 800, and as you can see that's only going to last about 14 frames. But again, what you can do with the speed, so if I put it down to about 600, you can see it gives you about 19 frames worth of duration. If I got up to 1000, gives you about 11. But normally you want to aim for between like 800 and 700 when it comes to speed. And again, you just simply press OK. And as you can see, it's drastically shrunken my clip down. But I can drag that clip out a little bit if I want to. And again, simply with the second clip, again, right click on it, go down to speed and duration, and again, change it to about 800. So as you can see, that's only going to be about 0.8. But again, you can, again, just drag that out as normal. Then what you want to do is you want to grab them both together, and then you want to put them next to each other, and then this is what a speed transition should look like. And then you see with the cuts as well, when it goes from where both clips have been sped up and then it goes back to like normal speed, you can see the transition basically is the speed merging together, and then once that cut ends, then it goes back into normal speed. And then when it comes to the fourth transition, it's basically a combination of the zoom transition that I showed you here and a combination of adding speed onto it as well. So basically what would end up happening is that you would see your designated clip speeding up like this particular one right here. But at the same time it's speeding up, it would also be zooming in, so from 100 to 150, and again on the other clip from 150 down to 100. But you'd have the element of the zoom and the speed in one transition. So that would be the fourth transition that I'm speaking about. And then with the last one, this one I like this very much. Just go into the video transition, go down to dissolve, and then I quite like either cross dissolve is always a good one because you can put it in between clips to kind of add it into like a flashback or a memory sequence. So I'll show you right here. So this is a clip of a person using a laptop, and then the second clip. Sorry, put the wrong transition there on the same clip. So let me find. So if I just take off this cross dissolve, which is the one, which is like another example I showed you from earlier, if I just put that right here, you'll now see how the cross dissolve will work. So what the cross dissolve does, it essentially just merges both of the beginning and end of the clips together. So again, like I said, if you're using this for a flashback or a memory sequence, for example, you'd probably have someone looking out into the distance, and then if you want to sort of engage the audience in them being involved with the flashback that they're thinking of or the memory that they're thinking of, this transition is perfect for that particular reason, just like you can see here. So it just adds that little bit of reverb on and around the people, as you can see. Just there, you can see where the lines start to blur. And again, that's a perfect way of like transitioning to a memory sequence or for any sort of project that you're doing. But again, it would be most effective with like a memory or flashback sequence. But again, it's also good. Cross dissolve is also very good at just for transitioning into different scenes and into different locations as well. But I hope that you've enjoyed my top 5 transitions for Adobe Premiere, and I'll see you on another tutorial very soon.